Hey everybody, it's Christy here at my Artful Adventures, and today we're working on the 3D Butterfly Folio card, which is one of the Papercraft socials kits that I offer. So first of all, please wait to cut your items until I give you some tips on cutting some of the pieces, especially the big butterfly pieces. And the best thing to do is to work along with me, or at least watch me first. And you might like to watch and then pause, and then you can work on yours, and it's like we're working together, right? So you're going to need scissors and adhesive. You'll see that I use a combination of double-sided tape and liquid glue, and a glue stick can be useful too. So whatever you want to use. I would not suggest using all a glue stick because it has a tendency to not really, last the long distance, right? And then you'll want something for a scoring tool. So, you'll want something to be able to make the creases. So you can use your fingers on most of them, a straight edge of a table, even a ruler can help you with your fold lines. And I'll show you how to do that. And then you'll want something to make those folds really crisp and clean. And so you can use a bone folder if you have one. You can even use like the side edge of the handles of your scissors. I'll show you how to do that. And a hole punch for the tags, and just a little one like you can get at the dollar store, the grocery store, somewhere like that. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. And then you'll find a supply of ribbons and charms and Velcro dots, and then a little bling in your package. And so you can use ink on the edges if you want to, because it's your project. You can do whatever you want. You can add other things. You can leave whatever you want to out. It's all your project. You want to make sure that you have an idea of what you want to do with it before adding all the goodies on, because if you want to use it and perhaps put more pictures on it, you'll need to know that in advance so you can decide how you want to place the objects, so you don't have to do it just like I show you. And so if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm glad to answer them. So are you ready to get started? Let's go. Let's work on this little butterfly folio. Isn't this fun? This is so cute, these little wings. So if you have your butterfly kit, I would ask that you not cut these parts. You can roughly cut around them, but wait until we get going. The other things, if you want to cut all those things out, that's fine. And we'll go from there. But I really would like for you to wait until you find out the easiest way to deal with these while we put our journals together. First off, we are going to use these two floral papers in our set. So this one with the tab over here, and then just this one without tabs, okay? So I'm gonna go cut mine, and I'll be right back. I've got these two cut out, and I just use scissors. If you want to use a paper trimmer, you can do that too. Now I'm gonna take these two pink gingham pieces, and I'm going to cut those out as well. So be careful with these pages. You want to go right to the edge. You can see where it comes off here, and you've got the little, it's a little bit harder to see because of the way the pattern ends out there on the edges. This one almost would be easier probably to use a paper trimmer on, but I didn't. so there's that. So I'm just going to cut this. If you used a paper trimmer, it would be easier to see that line. It's kind of hard to get your scissors across there. But usually for any of these projects, it works best if you have a pair of large scissors, or larger. You don't have to have them this big. The one thing about scissors that have blades really long, you can kind of get longer straight cuts. They're a little bit easier in that regard, but you don't have to. And some people just have a smallish pair of scissors and they make it work, right? You don't have to have all the tools. And I try not to make you feel like you do. So just get those cut out here. And if you want to ink your edges, you can do that too. I'm trying to think how much I may have inked on the other ones I did. So I'm just going to cut these out. And then we're going to get started assembling this. So just cut to the edge of those little pink lines. Okay. Let's do it. Let's get started with this. and get it assembled. You guys, it looks like it might be difficult, but it's not. It really isn't a hard piece to do. Okay, what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and first get this scored. If you've got a straight edge on your desk, that could work well. I don't, mine's rounded. If you've got a scoreboard, or you want to use your whatever scoring tool you want to use, but this works good too, to just use a ruler. Oh my goodness, I can't get it lifted up. Oh my goodness, I can't get it. Let's do this first. Let me grab this edge so I've got it, and then hold my ruler up to it. So you want your ruler in just a tiny fraction of a bit. Okay, there we go. So this one, like this. Well, that didn't make a very good score. Hang on a second. Needs to be more straight than that. Okay. And I'm going to put a little bit of my double-sided tape along the outside edge. And then use a little bit of glue on that and the inside edge here. And now we're going to put these two floral pieces together. And do it just like this. And then place this right up here to the edge. Make sure you've got it on straight. And it kind of helps if you've got, I'm going to use this grid line across here and try and make sure that I have it fairly straight across there. There. Okay. All right. And we're going to take these and we're going to fold these in, fold it up to the crease. And fold this one up to the crease as well. Don't go over that crease. Make sure you've stayed to the outside edge of it. And then if you're trying to get it straightened out a little bit, if you will hold this tight, where is my bone folder? Hold it tight, and then just take your bone folder and then just work your paper back this way. And you can get it to where it needs to go. But we need for these pieces to fold nice. Okay, now we're going to work on, we already did cut those, but hang on, we need to kind of backtrack for a second. Now I want you to take your butterflies and we'll work on them next. Because they have a tabbed piece that needs to go between the outside cover and the inside. So I want you to take the tabbed pieces and cut around the tabbed piece and do it, you know, make it nice and tight. And then what I would do is I would make just let me get my other scissors. Make a tiny notch right here. Okay, and now you can just kind of cut some of that away. Do the same thing down here. We're not going to cut all around this butterfly yet. And do that right here. Cut a little notch right there, because that way we can have a kind of an indication of where the front and the back need to go. All right, and that's why we're doing that. So again, just get to the end of that tab and match it up, and then all the rest of this we're going to cut the back and the front of the butterfly at the same time, and this will help us with that. So So again, we're going to do this and then just a little notch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of make sure that those are about the same. They look, and I can see like the eyes. Now when I get closer to I don't want to do any more until I get ready to put the back on. Okay, so now we're going to cut these pieces out. And this one we're going to cut just straight along here, just like that. So that inside edge, you can see right where we need to cut. That part is straight and nice, and we're going to cut that part. Okay. Now we're going to take so we've got two without the tabs and two with the tabs. So you take one with the tab facing this way, and then we're going to take the other side, get your matching, like they're matching this way, but this is going to go on the back. Okay, so that's how we need to make that go on the back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold these up here like this, and I'm going to grab my little pencil, and I'm going to make a little mark here, and then right here, and then I can just cut that same little indentation right there, and then just trim a little bit away. Because all the rest of that is going to get thrown away anyway. Let's do the same with this one. Let's just match him up, and I mean it's going to be flipped over. So we're just going to trim it off. Just have a little notch so we know where to matchy them. Okay. All right. Now we're going to take these and match those little notches just like this. Actually, we need to score this first. Let's score this just like this. And now we're going to glue this down. I'm going to cut more of this. I tell you what, I'm going to cut more of this around so I have a better idea where my glue goes. We don't have to cut. If we don't cut it a little bit closer, we're not going to have a good idea where the glue goes. It doesn't have to be exact. And you can see we've got this little kind of a halo effect on this. So, you know, as long as you're cutting kind of along that halo effect, you'll be fine. So now let's get some glue. Oh my gosh, you guys, I should have filled my glue. So right here, you can see this is for sure we have to get some glue right along the edge here. That's going to go right up to where we need it, and then just a little bit to the inside here. A little bit here, and then we're just going to tuck it in right here. So now we can see our little notches that we cut. They are right there. Okay, so we've got that one done. Let's do the other one. We might as well just go ahead and cut the halo out here. I should have remembered that already. I could have already I already cut around it. If I'd have remembered that, I would have saved some time. Okay. So again, we want to score our tabs. And then we'll get our glue on. Squiggle a little inside. Okay. And then just match it along there. Kind of give it a minute for your glue to dry before you trim any more off. Okay. So now then, I've got my spot right here, and I can trim that to where I don't like those for this. Okay. And then you can just do some of around through the white. You don't have to, I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to, but you know, a lot of times you don't have to be super picky here. Okay. And it doesn't have to be exact. You've got this nice little border. And you know, this is kind of like, have you ever noticed like stickers? How stickers, a lot of them will have like a little white border all the way around. And that's kind of how this is. Now, as soon as I get done with this, I'm probably going to match up the tabbed pieces and make sure that they, that those pieces are close in size for the white part of the little border. I'll show you what I mean in just one second. I'm just going to do like a gentle curve around here. Okay, because I don't want this little sharp. Let's fold that out and give it a little more of a gentle curve there. Okay, let's look at how this looks together. So if we've got our little eyes right there, right like this, see, I can kind of see, where's my pencil? Oh, there it is. See, I want to make sure that this kind of goes right there, and then this needs a little trim, not much. And then they will be, you know, close to being the same on both sides. And that will just make me happier. Now I can see on here, I've got a little bit more pink on this one from the tab. I wish I would have folded it, you know, closer in there. So I don't really know at this point that there's much I can do about that. Let me see if I can kind of get it over here a little bit closer. Maybe, who knows, we'll see. Maybe if I manipulate the paper enough, I can get it to bend a little bit different. I just don't think I'm going to be able to get it over there that much, you guys. It's still going to be cute, and probably nobody else is going to think anything about it, right? But there you have it. I mean, you can see a little bit. Nobody's probably going to notice it, right? So this is what we do now. Now we take this front part, and we're going to put this here. We're going to glue it around the back like this. So we need to put glue on the inside of this tab, put it on the white part, or your sticky tape, whatever you're using. And now I'm just going to fold this over. Now I want to make sure that it lands, you know, somewhere so I don't have like my wings way up here or something, so I want it kind of centered in my folio, so I'm going to put it right there. And now I'm just going to get it over here and fold it over, so you make sure you know that it's going to fold, and do the same on this side. But on this one we're going to make sure that it matches, that it's lined up with the other side. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this, I'm going to match up his little head there, just like that, and now I'll fold this over. Just like that. And now his little face lines up, just perfect. I'm happy with that. So now we're going to open this up, and now we're going to take these pages and we are going to line this section up right here. Now I would say to go ahead and fold these like this, but the main part is you do not want this section, you don't want this piece to go over onto this section, because if you do, it's going to give you a really messy closure. So I think it's best, and if you've got any difference in where these land, you're going to have a problem. So I'm going to say you just want to go ahead and put this piece on just like this. Boy, I don't know if I'm going to have enough glue here. I might have to stop and pause and do a refill, you guys. But, things like that happen, huh? You won't have to watch, because I can pause. Okay, and then just put a little bit in here. Right. And flip it over. And like I said, you don't want it to cross over this fold. So, kind of tip this up. That's a good way to make sure it's not in the way. Just tip it up there. Now I've got my top. There we go. And then just smooth it down. Give it a really good press. And we're going to do the other side. Look, that lines up pretty good if I do it that direction. I don't know about the other way if I flip it around. But that one works. So we're going to just get our edges glued on here, and then we'll have the inside done. This goes together so easily. You would think that it would be, kind of tricky. I mean, and the butterfly is kind of tricky, but once you know how that goes together, it is really pretty smooth sailing. Okay, so we'll flip this over and get it lined up here. And again, make sure that that is not in the way of that fold. Okay, there we go. And then if you've got any little pieces, and I mean, you are going to see a little bit of white right there, because it just has to have that little bit to be able to fold. So now then you can take this one, and I would say just, start gently. We've already got that one folded out there. We know where that fold lives. You might even want to, grab your ruler and just help this new piece of paper kind of ease it in. There we go. And then just fold it, get it straight, give it a good press. And on the other side. And just be real gentle with it. You'll have a lot better luck. Make sure you've got these papers sealed down good. Okay. And if you kind of just keep being pretty gentle with it, you'll get a you'll have a better look inside. This won't be all crinkly and messed up. Just take your time. I mean, this whole project doesn't take a lot of time anyway. Okay, so now I want to go ahead. I see where I would like to trim some of this away. See, I've got a little bit of the back side of my gingham paper needs to be trimmed off. Just be careful. You can do it right along the edge of your butterfly. Just make sure you're not trimming your butterfly off. Okay, so I got that one. Let's see if this side needs a little bit of help. Oh, a little bit. I'll just trim it up. Now, if you were going to ink it, you know, you might just ink that and forget it. I haven't decided if I'm going to ink this or not. Maybe. But I'd rather just get this evened up here. And looks pretty good. I can live with that, you guys. Okay, so there we've got that. And you know, once you get this down, and if you have it somewhere and you keep it flat, it's going to lay down and stay better. You know, the more that time passes over that. Okay, let me grab our other pieces here. Let's see, what have we got? Let's do our pocket. We've got pockets. We've got some a stacked pocket, and you can put these on anywhere you want. In fact, I tell you what, I'm going to pause a minute, and I'm going to cut these out, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back with my pieces cut out. I've got my glue bottle filled, so we're ready to go. So we have got a variety of fun little things to put in here. So these little pocket envelopes, or they're envelopes, they're not pockets. So you want to be able to, you know, fold in the little glue tabs. And again, if you want to use something and score them and be more precise, you can certainly do that. I'm starting to wish I would have done that. That's kind of crookedy. I think I'm going to grab my thing right here, and because I got two of these, and it'll be faster if I just kind of do that. So I'm having trouble with the bottom one for some reason. So I can just line it up against this, the groove here where the blade goes, or actually it's a scoring thing for one of them. It's not a blade. I think I'll just make sure this is a little bit cleaned up on this one as well. And then you can just, you know, run it through there, and then you're ready to go. I'll do this one as long as I am at it. And, you know, there's other kinds of scoreboards, scoring tools, if you will, that you can use. You can use a ruler and just kind of go bump up against that with you can even use like an old ballpoint pen, the edge of it or something. If you've got a stylus, that's great. That's one of the things that has like the little round balls on each end. Okay, so I got that out of the way. So now you just want to fold up your glue tabs, fold them into the inside. Oh, I think I can do this one easier. I've got enough on both sides of this. Seems like it's harder to do it by hand when you don't have much on one side to grab and bend over. If you've got, you know, if it's got more space, it doesn't seem to be so hard. Whoops. Gosh, I need to wipe some of that off. That's a potential for a problem. Goodness, what am I going to wipe it on? That's another problem. Okay, now let's just fold this over. And I went ahead and I inked these, and I just used that vintage photo color. That's what I used. But then always, you know, if you've got something like, hang on just a second. Okay, and then, you know, make sure that you haven't glued it inside. And let's get the other one other little envelope pocket. And they're real easy to find, the little lines to crease that. That's no problem. Oops, I hope I was in the frame there. Look, I did that same thing. I'm just going to take this and kind of spread it out. Just take the side of it. Okay. It's kind of coming towards the front there. That's okay. Let's ink. We've already inked the rest of it, so that's, you can't get those places where the, you know, where the glue tabs are until you've folded them. So, all right, let's do this one. And then there's just, you know, all of these little pockets and everything. You can put them in here however you would like to. And I'm going to show you some different ideas. Okay, so, my goodness, I don't know how often I say that. So, so the next part. Okay, now we've got our, we're going to start putting these in here. And there, we've even got, you know, space on the back here. And okay, so this is actually, it can be a card, you guys. So it folds just like this, and you can put it, you know, into an envelope. And so you might want to leave one panel where you can write something, right? That's just totally up to you. So on the back, let's get started here. And I think I'm going to put one of these diagonal pockets on the back. Let me see what I've got. Let me spread them out and find what I want. I think I'll put this one here. So all I want here is a little bit of glue. Since this is on the back, I don't want to do the thing where I put just glue on two sides. I want it to be more like a, you know, a pocket, so I'll have to put glue on the three sides of that. Because I'm afraid if I put it just on one side, it might, you know, something might fall out the edge. And this is enough to stick a tag in or something. Okay, now let's put the little butterfly pocket in. This doesn't look, you know what, let me trim this off a tiny smidge. If I can. I don't know if I can. You know what? I'm just going to try and ink it a little more. Just get my ink down in there a little. There we go. There, that'll be fine. So I'm going to put it down here, but I'm going to do something different. I'm going to make it so it can also be a pocket. So it's going to have its envelope, but I'm going to make it a pocket. And to do that, I'm just going to put my my glue on the three edges, the three outer edges, just like that. And I'm going to put it down low, so if I have a tag sticking out the top, you know, it has room. I'm just kind of line it up. I'm just going to put it there in the center. So while that is setting up, let's put let's put a little Velcro dot to close the pocket. So I stuck these together so they would be easy to deal with. So I want one here. And I've got another one. We'll put one, the other pocket too, or the other envelope. I keep calling them pockets. I'm going to cut that too. Okay, so now I got both of those ready to go. So you just take off the adhesive, or the carrier paper. Oh my goodness. And just put it kind of close to the top there. Just in the center. Press it on. And then take the little paper off. And then just press it over. Isn't that easy? Well, you don't have to mess with that at all. Okay, let's go to the inside now. So we've got 4 little panels on the inside. And let's see what we've got here. This is a cute pocket. This probably needs to go to the left somewhere. And this and you've got actually two little pockets like this. So you could either do a big pocket and a little pocket, or you could leave one and, you know, and just have that for your, you know, to write your message. Or you could do this and stack these two pockets just like this. And I kind of like the stacked pockets. So I think I'll just put this little pocket envelope here, put a pocket here, and I don't know, I'm torn about putting, you know, one over here. Maybe I will. I think that'd be cute. So do we put the big one over here and the little one on the inside? Doesn't really matter. Just kind of depends on what you want to do. It doesn't really matter. And like I said, you can certainly leave a space open so that you could, you know, write a note if you wanted to. I don't know. We do have two of them here. You know, I think I'll do that. Just what you want to do, right? Watch somebody sort little pockets around. Let's just do it like that. We'll have plenty of pockets to put our fun little doodads in. So we're just going to put on the three edges here. Just get that down there. Just match up the corners. And on this one, I think I'll do this the same way. Make that little surprise extra pocket back here on the back of the envelope. That makes it kind of fun. So if you're going to do that, you might want to put it low so you've got room at the top to put something. That was not exactly flat when I picked it up. So I'm going to hold it for just a second till it catches with the glue. And now, let's put this little pocket here. This gives us a whole bunch of places to tuck little pockets and all the goodies. Now, another trick is if you're going to put glue on three sides, hold the side that's not going to have any glue, and then you keep your fingers out of the glue. And then just get that there. So again, make sure that that's out of that center crease. And in fact, you know, make sure these pockets that are right close to the edges, make sure that they aren't in the way of any of those folds. And then you won't have any trouble at all when you close it up. Okay. Okay, then we'll just put that one over here. I do love those little pockets though. But I tell you what, I think, no, this one didn't have an extra paper. Okay. So let's get our other little Velcro dot on here. It doesn't really matter which, you know, which side goes on first at all. Just press it on, peel out that backing, and then just fold it down. Hold it down kind of tight for just a moment so it has a second. Okay, and now we've got some of these that have holes for tags, and we'll just punch those real quick. I don't know, I have like just a little cheap hole punch like that you would get from Dollar Tree or somewhere. I don't know what I've done with it. I bet you guys get tired of me saying that. I'm always saying that. I don't know what happened to it. But I would like to find it, because it is actually the perfect size. Just the kind that you get like at the grocery store or wherever. They are the perfect size for these. Okay. Oh, there's another one. So how many did we have? 4? We got 4 little tags here. Be able to see in there, so you can see where you're punching it. All right, and you can, if you want to, ink around it a little bit if you want. Okay, and maybe we want to put a little butterfly right here. That would be kind of cute. Should we do that? Although I really like, or maybe we can just put it down here, floating around. I don't know. They're just so pretty. I hate to cover them up with something else. I don't know. And here's another thing that you can do sometimes. You can take something like this. Let me see if there's a good one to use it on. These are such a different color though. You can take it, and if you've got a good place to punch, which I don't know that these do, you can kind of punch it in with the same spot, put your ribbon through, and then, you know, you've kind of got a different, you know, element. Well, that reminds me, I've got little, some little charms. Where are the little charms? Anyway, you can add little charms to your ribbons on your tags or whatever you'd like to, you know, put with them. And, you know, just all kinds of fun little things. Whatever you've got that you want to add, put on some little gemstones, anything fun. I love these little cards. I think these are so pretty. So now, those will tuck right in there. Look at this. Those fit right in there. Just our pocket on the back. And let's see if these skinny ones will fit in these pockets that we made like this. Oh, they sure do. Look at that. Put this in here. Let me grab some ribbon so we can finish our little tags. Okay, I've got us several little ribbons here that we can use. It's fun to have kind of an assortment of colors. So one of the ways is to just take it and, you know, just tie it around like this. You can either tie a knot or just leave it like that. Depends on what you want to do. Got a pink one. Got some pinks and purples and greens. Just some fun colors. Now this organza ribbon is a little bit, you probably want to make sure that you tap a little bit of glue on the end to keep it from fraying too bad. And it might come unwound here, so you might want to tie it in a knot, but all you have to do, now this one is already fraying a little bit too much, so when you clip it off and it's nice and smooth, just take a dab of your glue that dries clear and just, you know, tap it on here. Like that. Let me do the other side. Now this size is not going to stay on its own. It is really slippery, so you can just tighten a pretty little knot, and there you have it. And even these that are the little cards, kind of like little journal cards, you could even tuck those, or punch a hole in them I lost my train of thought. You can even punch a hole in those and use those for tags if you wanted to. You can do whatever you want to, because guess what? It's your journal, or it's your little folio. It's your project, and you can decide what you want to do to finish it off. If you've got some other things, you know, feel free to use what you have. And it's totally personalized, right? You just have to be careful when you stick them in that you don't have them in the way of your folds. Because if you have them in the way of the folds, they are going to, they're going to get bent. So you don't want that to happen. Let me just put one more in here. So you have plenty of choices of how you want to finish it off. And I hope you've enjoyed this little project. Oh, let me show you. Let me show you what I was talking about with these. So if you've got these, and let's say you want to put this on here. Well, I like this one because this one has got, you know, several colors. So what we could do is we can put this up here. We've got to leave enough room so that our hole, you know, isn't going to get in the way of, or so it has enough room. Oh my goodness, I'll tell you what, I cannot, the little holes don't want to come out by themselves. I'm just going to punch this in here like this. I can see where that one is. So I'll just punch it again. So now we've got matching holes there. Except now I punched his head out, but I think he'll be okay. And now you can take your ribbon and run it through both of them. And it kind of makes like a paper dangle, if you will. Because it's loose. And if you don't tie it too tight, it can still move around. So that's kind of fun. It's always kind of fun when you have bits and pieces that can move on your projects, right? And when you're tying like this, if you've got one that's a tiny bit longer, if you use it to do all of the wrapping around, that works pretty good. So I'll take my long end and go right over left. Then I'll use that same end, because it was the longest, and go left over right. Like that. Oh, that's not wanting to stand up there. And then, you know, then this little part kind of dingles and dangles around there. And we can put this in here. We've got another little fun element right there. And maybe since this has a bunch of little butterflies there, that would be kind of cute, especially since this is kind of multicolored. So let's bend this in half and just put some glue down the center. Now, because it's going to, you know, be flattened out when you fold it, it's not going to stay this dimensional, but you can fluff it back out. Let's see where we want it. Maybe just right there, right in the middle. Just make sure that you don't get the wings glued down there. And you've got that going on. That's kind of fun, right? And if you wanted to decorate some of this, you could just, you know, oh, here's an idea. Oh, wait, that's the, I don't want to do that because that's the front. Never mind. Oh, that's the back. I wish I would put that on the inside. Well, I'm afraid that'll get knocked off, but just be careful with it. We'll put one over here. Let's put another one over here. Or what I was going to say was, if you want to take one and just glue it at the bottom, you have another little spot that's a tuck spot then. Let me see. Can we do that with this larger one? We could. We'll just put color everywhere, right? Maybe we'll just do that to both of these. Or maybe we'll spread these guys out. Or maybe put him over here. Oh, I like that idea. Let's put him over here. Or her. Let's just get her over there, so she can add a little bit more color. It's not like it doesn't already have enough color, right? But look, we'll put her over here floating in the flowers. Just fluttering over here. That looks cute. And then we'll put this one over here and use it as a bottom tuck spot. And if you wanted to use one of these and put little pictures on, you certainly could. And if you want to do that, then that kind of that kind of helps you decide what spaces that you want to put more in. Like if I wanted more room to put some photos, then I would have for sure made the double pocket and, you know, left room for that. But there we go. So there's our little card, and it's folded all up. And then you can fold it like this and put it in an envelope. So there you go. Somewhere that's kind of tight right there. But like I said, once you get some weight on this and let it set for a while, you're going to have, you know, it's going to be much flatter. And if you want to, I mean, you can certainly take your bone folder and at this point really give it a good crease across here. We were very gentle with it before, but we can do that and help it lay down a little bit better. Just like that. Just really, really, and just be gentle with it because you don't want to cause it to crack, right? There we go. I hope you've enjoyed this. I always enjoy these little 3D projects. I think they're so much fun. So there we've got our little butterfly. Isn't she cute? I love it. And then all of our little pockets and tuck places. I love it. I hope you enjoy it. And like I said, it truly can be, you know, used as a card. It was meant to be, you know, to fold up as a card too. You guys, thanks so much. I will see you next time.